You guys let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. Yay, wonderful. Okay, I may not be able to type. I had to update OBS. It may make me use another window. There we go. I got the other window in case I have to chat. Okay. Yay. So this is the card that we're going to be making today, guys. Let me go ahead and play the intro and we'll get started. Okay. Yay. And I'm going to try to make this one a little quick so you guys can get back to whatever your normal Tuesday is. I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I wasn't feeling well yesterday. Hi, Paula and Jamie, Sue. There's Patty and Kim, Louise. So I'm calling this the spring card, guys, simply because of what is on the inside. And this is not new. It's been around for a long time. But I wanted to show you guys how to make it. And I did put a wobble on it as well. So we have a spring on the front and one inside. And I used a couple of Design Space flowers that not many people are using, or I haven't seen any photos of them. And I thought, well, maybe they're not using them because they don't know how that flower goes together, even though it's one piece. So I wanted to use it and show you guys how to do it. And then I did some print and cut hummingbirds, but when you open it up, you can see that the hummingbirds are on the spring on the inside towards the flowers, and they all have a little bit of movement from the spring except these two. And then I put the flowers on the inside. Now if you do this on the inside with these flowers, it's not gonna close completely flat. You're gonna need a dimensional envelope for this, or a little bit bigger envelope than what you normally would for a 5x7, but it should go in there. Everything should lay down and mash down and go in there and then come back up. So if you need a dimensional envelope, I have those that I have shared before. I think they're in the Cricut community in different sizes. So those are available to you guys. This is a supporter only file. Basically, it's all Design Space images except the mechanism inside, the spring. And that is an SVG upload available to patrons and Ko-fi supporters and YouTube cutie collectors or higher. And you can get that also. It's beside the card file. I put everything, the tutorial, the card from Design Space, and the SVG for the inside mechanism are all in there. So let's go over to Design Space and take a look at what you need to do to start this project. And let me make sure that we transition. Hopefully this is not lagging as bad as normal. Streambots finally got a Mac version of OBS for us to use. And I'm just going to open up my Design Space here and get it over there to you guys. Get my projects here. And we're going to come in here. I did mine so that I could cut it and not lose anything. Yours is a little bit different because you have to have the mechanism. So when you open it up, you're going to see this, and if you don't want to put the bird on the back, I did sandwich them so that it would be pretty from all angles, but you can just do one print, but they fit on one print and cut, so why not? That way the front and the back, and that's why they're mirrored, and they'll cut on one page, and then you have one for the front. These are those flowers, and I know they look really, really strange, but we're going to show you guys how to do those. This piece is a different shade from this purple, just slightly, because that's going to be cut, and I'll show you that here when we put it together, from just your plain paper. And I left it that way because I cut this from the corrugated, the Cricut corrugated, and then I used the regular paper, coordinating paper with it. And oh, sorry, this is the corrugated. I apologize. So this is your coordinating paper, this is your corrugated, and then I used some pattern paper here. And I'll show you guys all of that here in a minute. And I just flipped my pattern paper over for this. I just let it flip over and cut upside down so that I could use one sheet of paper, but you can use white, whatever you want to use. So this square right here, when you get your file, you're going to come in here and you're going to ungroup this. Let me shrink this window so that it shows everything. There we go. So you're just going to ungroup that right there. And you can delete this, or you can leave it for your notes and just hide it. And then you're just going to leave that square. Then you're going to go to upload. Once you've downloaded that SVG, you're going to come into upload and you're going to upload the image. I'm just going to browse for it over here. I believe it's on my desktop. Maybe it isn't. I could have swore that it was. It is. Okay, where are you hiding? Let me just type in. Y'all can see my diet. I have been dieting, guys. There it is. This is the one I want. And I'm just going to open that up, and then that's all you have. I have, like I said, I've been dieting since the 30th of March. And I have lost 16 pounds, so something to celebrate. Once you have that in there, you can name that whatever you want. You can tag it. It is nothing but a cut line. That is all it is, and it's just going to cut. And it may look weird, like part of the line's missing. It's not. Don't worry about it. And just hit save. After you've named and tagged it, then you're going to select it, and you're going to insert it. Once you have it inserted, you're just going to bring it over to this square, and we're going to come up here and we're going to size this. I know it comes in at an odd size, and that's because I forgot to size it before I took it out of Sure Cuts a Lot and brought it in. So just unlock it and make it 3.5 by 3.5. And that's going to round it up. And that's just because of the spiral, because you can't close the path and stuff on that for what we need. I'm just going to select them both. We're going to align, we're going to center it, and we're going to attach it. Once you do that, you're ready to go. And that's why I say you can delete this piece right here after you've done that and save your project. I'm not going to save this because if I do, you guys won't be able to open it. Okay? So make sure that you get it on there, and then you're good to go for your spring card. You have your base set up. You don't need those instructions, and you won't need to upload it again. And then you're just going to cut everything once you've chosen your papers. So I'm just going to get out of this. I'm going to go to a new and replace. That way I don't accidentally save that. If anybody has any design space questions, don't hesitate to ask. Put your questions in caps, and myself and the moderators will answer them to the best of our abilities or show you on screen should you need it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, 16 pounds. A little over 16 pounds in 3 weeks. Not too bad, not too bad. Yes, I have changed to a healthy lifestyle, Patty. That's exactly it. Because if you call it a diet, you're going to be on a diet the rest of your life. But I mean, I can eat anything I want, so it's not a bad diet. Not at all. So let's pop over to the overhead and we will put this together. So the first thing you're going to do And this is how your little spiral is going to cut. Be careful taking it off your mat. Use your spatula. But you're just going to let it fall. And wherever the end of your cut line is right there, you're just going to take it and snip it. Oops, I got a little hanger on there. And then it should just fall out. Okay? I had a little chad. I'm just going to clean that up. I need to replace my blade. So that's all you need for your mechanism. Then you've got your card base, and this is white Cricut cardstock right here for my base. I like to mix and match, guys. I don't use all the same products. When I make a card, it might have Cricut and Stampin' Up and Close to My Heart and you name it in there. So just going to fold your base and make sure that you've got your top where it's supposed to be. Flip it over. Always double check because you don't want to be messing up your card. And then this is the Cricut corrugated cardstock. And it comes with the corrugated, and then it comes with coordinating regular cardstock. It is white core, so just so you know. And I am putting this piece on the back just for strength. And we're just going to throw a little art glitter glue on here. That's what I'm using. You can get it from artglitter.com. It does not ship in freezing weather, so make sure you stock up as soon as your weather is permitting. And we're just going to put that on the back to strengthen up the card, and it makes the back look pretty. And I just rubbed it and got it right off track, didn't I? Let me stand up so I can. Makes the back look pretty too. So then we have our corrugated piece, and I used a piece of the scrap that I had on the Anna Griffin paper that we got in the mystery box a couple of mystery boxes ago. And if I'm not mistaken, this is for sale, and it's on sale. I think the whole pack is like $14 and you get several. It's a big stack of paper. It's big. So if you guys want that paper, you can go in and get it. And then I'm just going to place this panel onto the card. Yeah, I ordered some more of that corrugated too. I love the corrugated. Now I'm going to say this, guys. I love the corrugated, but I do not cut it on my Cricut. I just don't. You can, and it will cut okay, and actually probably pretty well. But if I'm just cutting a square out of it, I prefer to use my trimmer. And I just use my Cricut trimmer to cut this square instead of on my Cricut. That way I don't have to worry about it ripping the corrugated part. But this I found does cut better if you cut it face down. Put the corrugated part on your mat and let it cut here. That way if it doesn't cut all the way through on the corrugated, you can kind of bend it over and cut it with your True Control knife or your scissors if it has any little hangers on, like I had one here even with the trimmer. But they can be worse if you cut them on the Cricut. That's just me, and maybe I'm not doing something right, but I just prefer to cut this material on my Cricut trimmer. You use your deep cut blade. Maybe that's what I didn't do because it called for fine point, and that's what I used. But it's been years. Well, when it first came out, what was it, 2 years ago, Jamie? When they first came out with it, I think. Because we hopped on it. And I love this stuff. It makes very pretty cards. Gives it some dimension and texture. And I will say that you're right, Jamie. I think it was 2 years ago. And I think the last time I cut it on a machine, it was on my Air machine. Or my Air 2. But I love it. It cuts well either way. I don't have any problems with it. So, got that layered up. So the next thing we want to do, And I made a little boo-boo on it when I put this one together when I was testing. So mine is glued down over here and over here. And that's totally up to you, however you want to do it. I apologize, guys. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. One of those deals. If y'all hear all the horns blowing, they're blowing for all of our frontline workers here. So we're going to... I found that this gave me more spring if I placed it with the curve down, with the tail down at this end. And the easy way that you can do that so that you're not messing up, if you've got some removable tape or dots or anything like that, I'm going to put one right here in the center because these will come back off. Just going to put one there. I'm not going to peel it yet. And I'm going to put one on the tail back here. And these are just sticky dots. These come from, I think, Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin or something. I think it's Stampin' Up! So I'm just going to peel that off, and I've just got like a little sticky dot. It's just a miniature sticky dot. And I'm just going to place that right there. Get rid of the cover. And then I'm just going to take this one and peel it back. That paper off of there. And then I'm just going to close the card and press it. And then I'm going to check and see how my spring opens. And that's more like it. That's the way that I wanted it. But it's totally up to you because I had really planned when I did my card to put it this way. So it kind of covers where your end of your spring is, and it gives something for you to put that flower there. I did, if you accidentally put it down wrong, it's not all lost because mine is up here on this one, and you can put a flower here and then you can just tack it down over here and it'll spring up too. So you just need to work on it to get it like you want it to open, okay? Any way that you put it on there. But where this tail goes, that's going to determine how your spring opens, okay? And it will flop back. So if you want more of it, and that's why it's long, you can come down here and you can glue this too. So you're not done until the end, okay? So I'm just going to close that up because those are temporary dots. If they come loose, it's not a big deal because we're going to actually glue them once we get everything ready to go. We're going to do the front here first. And then, and I did it on this one too. I did it on both of them. Y'all can see how I fix my mess ups. Whenever I do ribbon, I always forget to put it on before I put that panel on. I don't know why. If you do like me, just come in here with a straight pin or something and just kind of wiggle it up under there and give yourself a spot. I have devised this plan over the years because all these years, and I still do it. I still do it. So I'm just gonna put just a little drop of glue on the end of that ribbon right there. I'm just gonna get my straight pin again. You can use your pokey tool. Pokey tool will probably be better. And then I'm just gonna lay it down there and kind of start tucking it up under there where I opened it up. There we go. And then I'm just gonna bring it over on the other side and do the same thing. I don't know why I can't ever remember that. Just put a little dab of glue on there to hold it since we didn't glue it to the back. We're just going to shove the end of that ribbon right up under there. Nobody will ever know unless they watch this video. And then I used some foam dots, and like I said, I cut this out of my scrap papers. I flipped it over because I knew that it wouldn't matter which way my square panel fit, and my Cricut wrote on it, and then I took my ink dauber and kind of made it watercolor. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, if you can see that. And all I did to do that, guys, is I'm using Pixie, close to my heart Pixie pigmented ink. Let me grab a little scrap of paper here. And then my dauber, and I'm just gonna touch. That's all. Just touch my ink pad, and then I'm just gonna go in and start watercoloring all the edges. You start off the paper and work your way on, and that way you won't get those little smudges like I did. But that's going to give you that little watercolor effect around it. So super easy, super simple. And with the, I'll just go ahead and show you guys with the flowers while I have the ink out. With the flowers, this is your center. This little piece off to the side is going to be the center of your flower. And you want to leave it face up like this. I know it's kind of weird how that's going to come out the center, but I dabbed it again, and then I'm just going to ink each of those 5. So that it looks something like that. Okay, and you can do that to all your flowers, or if you want to, you can go through and, let me grab another one. If you don't want to do the centers, but you want to do the outer part, you're going to ink this piece right here. So you're just going to come in there and ink the opposite piece if you want to ink your outer petals. And I'll show you both of those once they're folded and what they look like, the difference, because I already inked them so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me do all of that for all of them. So use your ink pads. I'm just going to finish putting the pop dots on this. That glue should be dry by now for that ribbon. And that might seem like a lot of pop dots, but I want the middle and the ends supported. And it's stuck to my finger. Come off of there. There we go. And then I'm just going to flip that over, and I kind of kept it, I wanted the edge all the way around, but I also want it center here, or either the line of the ribbon center with this line. So either way that you want to do it. Just going to bring this one. And then we've pop dotted that one up. That gives it just a little bit more dimension to go with our flowers, because our flowers are going to be popped up. Okay, and then I did this little springy one. This is the sage green from Close to My Heart paper, and I kind of wanted it over and under the ribbon, so I kind of just put it on there. No rhyme or reason, just where I thought it might be pretty if it landed there. And we're going to stick it down to that. And I didn't glue the entire thing down. I wanted it to have a little bit of movement and be free just a little bit. Just enough to tack it on. That's all we're doing. And maybe a couple of places here. And just let it fall. And you can give yours a little more curve if you want to, just by playing with your paper and coaxing it. you can get those curves in it. Hold it till it dries. And remember, when you're gluing on this, it's going on that corrugated, so it's only hitting the top of those ribs. So you want to hold it for a minute and make sure that it's good and dry. Okay, I have some of my flowers drying over here. I put Nuvo drops on them after I got done. So I'm going to give those a few more minutes because they're going to go inside. We're going to set this to the side and we're going to work on the flowers. This is scored in the center and on each one of these pieces, and you're going to fold these tabs to the back. Okay, that's going to be the center of your flowers, and they're going to go to the back. Then you're going to move these pieces forward, okay, just like that. Oops, I'm folding mine backwards. Sorry. I folded mine backwards because I inked it the other way. Doesn't matter, you can go back the other way with them. There we go. So my ink is at the top when it's folded. Doesn't matter if you ink the inside or the outside petal, your ink should be folded to the inside at this point. So we're going to go with that one, and then we're just going to rotate and come around. We're going to fold that one. Then we're going to bring this one up. And then when you get to this third and fourth one, it kind of gets a little tricky. So I kind of open it back up and fold those two again just to get some memory on them. And then I come back and bring all of these in. You're going to have to wiggle those last two in because it's like a tuck and fold. You're just going to tuck it. Once you've got them all tucked down, you can kind of press it down to take that bulk out. And then you're going to bring all of these inner petals to the front so that you're kind of rotating a fan effect all the way around. Okay, so it should look something like that at that point. And for this card, it depends on how much height you want. I'm just going to come in here and put just a dot of glue right there. And I'm going to come around here on this side. I'm going to do another one, and that's just to hold the base petals flat. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and these in the center are going to pop back up. Okay, no worries. We'll do another one here. As a matter of fact, I have one. I did this is where I did just the centers. I was just playing around with them, but I don't want to use that one. Just folding. And I'm just going to unfold those and then bring that back. Two different ways to fold it. Whatever works for you. Bring it in and start rotating. Get to that third one, you're going to start locking it together. Okay, just like that. Make sure you mash it a little bit flat. Let these petals go the way they want to go. Bring them all to the front. Just going to kind of stand them up. That one, there we go. Didn't want to come out of there. There we go. And then you're just going to dab a glue here and one on the other side. Drop a glue or something there. Everybody get the flower? Super easy, super simple flower to make. Gives you that three-dimensional look. And guys, if you want to make these on stems, super easy. You're just going to have your hole cut in the center, or you use your pokey tool and punch a hole. Okay, and then you're going to run your stem, you know, you're going to curl your stem on the top and fold it over, and then you'll run your wire through so the top of the stem is inside and it's hidden, and then it'll be on a stem. And if you want to add stamens to these, the artificial stamens, you could do that too. Lot of fun different things you can do to these. So now I've got it all folded. We're just going to bring them all in. And again, I'm going to start working that third one and getting it in there. Or that fourth one. Sorry, not the third one. And the fifth one. And if something is going the smaller you go, the harder they are. But they'll go. You just have to play with them. There we go. And give it a little mash down. And then pull all my small petals to the front. My dog is just a handful. She's going nuts. Running 100 miles an hour through the house. And then we're just going to give it another little, just a teeny tiny touch of glue back there. Just enough to hold that where it doesn't pop up too high for the card. Depending on your project, you may want it a little puffier. Super easy, super simple. Cut some extras and play with them, Paula. At the end of the day, guys, remember, it's just paper. It's just paper. Cut some out of copy paper and practice on copy paper. Copy paper is very inexpensive, and it cuts well. Construction paper is inexpensive, but it doesn't cut well. It's just very fibrous. So now I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this and just kind of decide where I want that to land. I do want the green to show, and I want to overlap my tag just a little bit on there. Press that one down. That's the large one. There are 3 in the file, 3 different sizes. Then my medium one, I'm coming up here with it. So I'm just gonna put some glue on the back of that. There. You could even throw a few sequins in here or some beads, whatever. And we'll put this one right here. There's my hummingbird. Let's see where he's gonna live, and then we'll decide where we want that. And I want his beak up, but I don't want it in the flower. So that, I want it to hang over just right at the top edge of the card. So now I'm gonna put my wobble on there. If you don't have a wobble, don't worry about it. You can cut a teeny tiny spring or use some pop dots, whatever works. And I get these at scrapbook.com. You can get them on Amazon too. I'm just going to go ahead and place that. These are the minis. The minis are big, guys. So you can see those minis are a pretty good size. I'm just going to press that down good. They are called Action Wobbles. They're made by Hampton Art. Sometimes you can get them on Amazon, sometimes they're difficult to find. That's why I just get them on Amazon. And these are old, and they're not in a new pack. They had gotten loose and gotten into some glitter, so I'm just adding a little touch of art glitter glue on the back of my sticky back there, just to ensure that it does stay where I put it. Just going to stick it down, make sure I've got it in the right place. My wings aren't hanging over the top for envelope. Then I'm just going to use my pokey tool and go back there and just press it down on that corrugated to help hold it. Because I put glue on it, I'm not going to just press it down and hold it like I normally would. Because I don't want to glue my hummingbird straight down. I want him to have that wiggle wobble. And then that can tell me that I want to put that one right. I think I want to put it right there. put my glue on the back of that. We're going to press that down. Make sure my leaves don't interfere. If a leaf of your, or a petal of your flower, not your leaf, is interfering and you used a wobble, just glue that petal down. That way it won't pop back up like these two. Okay? Then we're going to go inside. And now it's time to decide where we want things. And I'm pretty sure that that's where I want my spring to be. So I know that that removable dot's not going to hold it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue back there. And I got some squishing out, and that's okay because I want to put this down there. So get that glue. Ooh. My dog just let in a critter through their dog door. So I'm just going to cover up the end of that right there with this. And I'm going to put a foam dot under this leaf. You don't have to. The other one I put and folded into the crease of the card simply because I forgot to put it on and it was my mock-up. So if you want to see how I did that one again, I'm doing this a little bit different. I laid this one in because I forgot to put it on. And that was all. Then you have your hummingbirds. And it depends on how you want to put them on there. You may want to put them on there going different ways. So, just take a look. And what I did is I glued just up here at the wings and the beaks. That's all I glued and stuck them together, making sure that they were all nice and even. That way I had some play time on placing them because they're still apart. Probably going to put that one there. Maybe that one there. I think I'm going to use the dark ones here. So I have to determine where my flowers are going to go, and one's going to go right here. Okay? That's the medium size or large one. So I'm probably going to put that one there. I think I'm going to glue this down right there. Yes. So I'm going to put a touch of glue right here on this one. Just going to lift that up. And I'm just going to make sure that this ring lays flat. That's all you want to, almost flat. Be good. Can have a little bit of lift. It's not going to hurt it. You don't want it too bunched up. And that's going to give me the curve that I'm looking for here. And I think I'm going to do my light one right here. Yep. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this, and then I'm just going to hold it onto that spring. We're going to let it sit up and dry, and then I'm just going to run a little bit of glue on each side of the tail of this hummingbird, and don't mash it together like I just did. You may not get it back apart. And then I'm just going to place him on the spring, and that way he's colored on both sides so you get a good view. I know my stuff is falling. So when the card is open, you want to look at it from where the card is open. And then we're going to go with our, I'm going to put my medium one down before I mix it up with another. It's going to go right there. And then I think I want to place this one here. You can even put a fourth flower in there if you want to. And if you use, I was going to tell you guys earlier, if you use, I'm going to put this one over to this side. If you use flowers that are not 3D, you can put more in here. You can use butterflies, bees, dragonflies, you name it, rainbows, whatever you guys want to use in here. This card base will work for so many things. I just did this one for birthday, Mother's Day, anything. You don't want to close this until that glue dries, especially if it runs over the side of your springs, because you don't want to glue your spring together. Let's see. I think I want this one. Make sure you have the right ones and facing the way that you want them to face. I'm just going to put some on one side here, and remember, don't glue the tails yet because that's where you're going to be working. Get everything all lined up. And I used a pen to make my eyes on these because out of Design Space they had no eyeballs and they looked really, really, really weird. So I went back into the file and added eyeballs to them for you guys. Hi, Pat. And then I'm just going to put some on each side of the tail because it's going on each side of that. You want to make sure that when it's closed, it's not going to pop out the end. So while you still have time to adjust. And then I have a couple extra. I put extras in that other one, but you don't have to. I think. Use as many or as few as you want. Put one there. And I think I'm going to place him right back here. And you probably won't see the back of that, so I'm not going to glue one to the back on that one. Just to give it a little interest back there. How easy was that? So you're going to let that dry before you close it. Of course, I'm not because I am going to put my Nuvo drops. And for this one, on these papers, guys, these pinks for the flowers, I used Ballerina and Pixie and Sage from Stampin' Up. And then I'm using the Nuvo drops. The color I'm using here is Party Pink. And I really like the way that these dried because of the hole in the center of the flower. The Nuvo drops kind of sucked into the middle and gave it a really cool effect. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it gave it like it looks like I stuck my pokey tool down in the center of it, but I didn't. It just dried that way. And I was thought, oh, how cool. So guys, that's it. That's all there is to this card. Super, super easy and simple. And I have an extra hummingbird. I'll use it for something else. Does anybody have any questions? Super easy and simple. Pretty sitting up on a table. Gives it some dimension. Inside and out. Lots of movement. Yeah, they were my mom's favorite. All right. If nobody has any questions, mine too, Kim. I made this with my mother in mind. Her birthday was on Friday, her heavenly birthday. She would have been 73. I want to say 73. I think 77. She would have been 77. All right, guys. Well, if nobody has any questions, or if you do and you think of them later, write them down, and I will be live again on Wednesday. I'm going to do a box that will kind of match this card for a little thing for all of my one-time Ko-fi supporters and all of my monthly supporters on all platforms. So look forward to that. And then I have not decided what to do on Freebie Friday yet, but we will be live on Facebook Friday, 7 p.m. in Cricut Maker Projects group. And we will try to share that as a watch party into the other groups. Thank you to all of my Ko-fi supporters, my YouTube members, and of course, my Patreons and my moderators. Thank you, guys. Couldn't do this without you. Oh wow, Kim, that's really really good there. Oh, she would have been. And my dad is still alive. He was in North Georgia with all of those tornadoes last week. They didn't get much damage, just their barn doors, but the whole city where they live is torn up. And he is 83. He turned 83 on Sunday. And we couldn't go up there because of being quarantined. So, oh yeah, I do, Kim. I know you do. That's something you never get over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if we have any gentlemen here, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. here on YouTube. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me.